Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend, colleague, and partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We always like to come in on Mondays and have these stimulating conversations with you all about. Let me stop everything from dinging over here just a moment. All about you. And today we're talking about seasons, switching seasons. Welcome, Carrie. How are you this morning? It's good to have you in the house. We're talking about seasons, seasons of change, seasons of opportunity, and we hope that you'll join in the conversation and find some things that you may be looking to change as the leaves turn. So, with that, we're going to get this conversation started. I want you to know that we always like to let everyone know that they can connect with BizChicks simply by texting biz to 33777. It'll take you into the heartbeat, and that's where you can sign up and become a part of our community. We love to share your information with other biz chicks so that we can connect, share, grow, and support one another. You can also find us over on bizchicks.net if you so choose. That will also lead you to the Biz Chicks community. Today, we're going to be broadcasting not just here on your favorite live stream channel, but we're also going to be sending this broadcast into the Alt RV virtual reality website as well as Clubhouse. So, for those of you listening on Clubhouse, we want to give you a shout out this morning and say, hey, 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 welcome to the conversation. So, with that, we're going to get this conversation started, and it's all about transition and the changing of the seasons.
All
How
right.
are you this morning, friend?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and we
Okay,
have
great.
no feedback.
All right. We got Esther, it looks like, is in the space with us over on the,
Hi, Esther.
and we are not on screen today, Esther, but you can definitely join the conversation. I am welcome to
Yes.
our space on Alt VR.
And Carrie Hagen Smith is over here, and she says, good morning. And she has a comment. She says, seasons of life change for sure. We just had this conversation on our uh, 33rd anniversary. Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
we got
Changes in the way.
TK is in the clubhouse today.
Hey, we are just so glad to have you on board, TK.
Right.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about seasons. And to everything there's a time and a season for everything. And right now we're changing seasons from fall to winter. And our question to you is, what are you changing with the changing of the seasons?
Okay.
Mm,
That's a good question because today um, it's a little cooler and
mm.
I kind of like walking. Um, I'm going to invite somebody to come to the table with me if they can. But walking in the cooler season means I'm going to have to bring out sweaters or hoodies
Mm.
or something in order to maintain the lifestyle that I've adopted, which is to be healthy, fit, and trim, take a walk
Mm.
every, at least 30 minutes a day. And I like to do
Yes.
that early in the morning. And in order to do that early in the morning, I am going to need to
To bundle up.
bundle up just a little bit.
I'm saying I'm in Pennsylvania, and today I think that at the time that I normally walk, it was like 36 degrees. Well, to me, that's cold enough to snow. You know
Right.
what I mean? Not
Yeah.
quite
So
freezing, but So yeah, I had to consider additional equipment in order to navigate that. And the other day, I was in an outdoor space at an event, and I had to don a coat, a pillow for the bench because the bench was metal. Just preparation for a different season may require some additional equipment.
Right. And it may require you putting away some other equipment. Some of the things that you use for the spring and summer, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to need to put away. I remember growing up in New York, we would have trunks. And even when we came to California, although we didn't need it like we did in New York, we would put away our summer and spring
Mm-hmm.
clothes, went into the trunk, and we brought out the fall and the winter attire because it was getting cooler. And we had a trunk and everything, we did not have any
Well, you know what? In our home, in the attic, the closets were actually made out of cedar because they knew you were going to be storing things in there during different seasons. So, because it was in Pennsylvania, but and I actually can remember the smell of mothballs. Good
yeah,
morning, Carlos. Thank
yeah,
you
I
for
can too.
joining. Mark is here, and Mark says, come to Chicago in February. We'll train you and build up your resistance so that, like us, you feel nothing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. Oh, my goodness.
So I accidentally picked up a mic here in the alt space, and
Mhm.
I wasn't trying to do that. I got to figure out how to put it down now. Um,
Well, we're not getting any feedback, so we're good. I don't
no,
know what's.
because we're not running any video over there.
Mhm.
So, and I know why we had feedback before.
Okay.
So, yeah, Carlos, Mark, I do see, yeah, you know, I don't think I'm coming in February.
Mm-mm. Or January.
That's winter.
I'll see you around July, Mark. Oh my goodness. But I know that you all know how to prepare for seasons in Chicago. Hmm. So, what season is it in your business, and how are you preparing for that change that's coming? How many of you are actually ready for the holiday season?
Okay, because as in Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
winter is coming,
Winter is coming.
and we need to be prepared for that winter season.
Hmm.
2023 is coming, and there is going to be some significant change. I'm really interested in tech, and here in California, they're changing some things by 2035, and I'm wondering how many of these people are changing because of the season.
Mm-hmm.
The season of the ICE vehicle, which is internal combustible engine vehicles, is changing. I saw a commercial for some people are adopting. So
Hmm.
the Chevy, which is GM Motors, they had several cars that there was a commercial and they were all EVs
Hmm.
or and
Hmm.
or hybrid, and so they were uh, getting ready,
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
will, and they had let's see, they had commercials out about 3 or 4 different variations of an electric vehicle,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and then I was watching the basketball game and I saw the Chevron. Chevron is an oil company, and they were talking about Chevron can do this for your oil and I mean for your engine and stuff. And I was like, y'all still putting out commercials for oil-based things,
Hmm.
and the season is shifting to alternative fuels that does not require crude oil or oils of that nature. And I'm thinking, was that a good use of your advertising dollars when I saw it? I understand that they have barrels of oil or something. I'm like, y'all got to figure out what you're gonna do with that.
And the
because
transition is going to be, um, it still has to have a period of time to
right,
actually initiate the transition.
right. And
Mm.
you think that because, okay, that's what, 7 years from now?
Mhm.
That's not a long time. So if you what are we doing to prepare? We see the horizon, we see the change on the horizon, but
Mhm.
are we making adjustments for the change?
Well, the thing is, to make the change, probably will still take some oil-based products because plastic is made from petroleum, and almost well, not almost everything, but a lot of things, a lot of equipment, a lot of chargers, things that encase things are still petroleum based. So petroleum's not going away, but the combustible engine probably is. And with that will come products and services that are timely. It's just like anything else. Transition takes time. Seasons take time to change. And I think that because we're moving toward change doesn't mean we stop talking about what's going on right now. You still got a
No,
world full of cars that need engine and oil change.
right. But the point I'm trying to make is that if there is a shift, and if they are not doing anything about the shift, it's going to come and take them by storm. It's going to take
Mhm,
them by surprise. Like if I was a gas station, I would have a charging station at my gas station.
mhm,
That would be number one. Talk to Tesla, talk to EV Go, talk to Charge Now or whoever they are, and a make a deal to
mhm,
carry a charging station at the gas station
mhm,
because people are going to need to go across country and be able to charge their vehicles.
mhm,
Um, and then there was a commercial where the people were getting away from oil based fabrics
mhm,
and going back to cotton and wool and linen and silk. They're going back to natural fabrics and
mhm.
fibers to get away from the oil based.
And
Uh,
I did see a segment on one of the morning shows about people using plant-based materials to make sneakers.
right.
Um, and they showed the process and the fact that now that they figured out the process that they will be trying to supply other um, what would you call them, other industries with this material once
Hmm.
they get it down to where they can mass produce it.
Right. Because they want sustainable products. I know there's a young man, um, and I thought the commercial was for water, but apparently it was for sneakers or something else. But they're talking about using, having like your jean jacket. You're buying something that is sustainable, not um, buying clothing and that is just you just discard it and it shows up in the landfill and it shows up and people are boxing it over to third world countries because we don't want to wear them anymore, creating more sustainable so that you're wearing it. Remember you used to buy clothes that last.
You used to build a wardrobe.
Right, and it lasts for years. You would wear the pieces over and over again. You wasn't just flipping through clothing at a whim.
Well, clothing wasn't as mass produced as it is now.
No.
So Marx says that is the problem with so many corporations. They're profit focused today at the expense of innovation and future profits. Many will be left in the graveyard gripping to the past. And this always happens, Mark, when there's a major transition, a major shift from buggy whips to automobiles to to EV cars. there's always going to be a tug and pull at the expense of others in many cases because it's profit driven. Hmm. Good morning.
Um, Good morning. And
One of our Facebook users says, I still have some clothes from 1983 and I still wear them. All right.
right,
Mm-hmm.
because if they were solidly made, why not keep them?
Mm-hmm.
You're not, and then so you're actually contributing to the sustainability of the planet because you're not buying over and over again and discarding and tossing and stuff. And some of that stuff don't work in the landfill. I went to a baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
You know how long a baby diaper stays in the landfill? Anybody can answer that question? I'll give them a free book.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
Wow.
if you can answer the question without going to look it up, how long does a baby diaper stay in a landfill? And this, we're talking about change today and changing seasons. So we're talking about changing diapers too. Somebody
Mhm.
said 10 years. Um, Anybody else?
I'm going to say 110. I think the diaper's going to outlive the person. Oh, Danielle says 1 month. Hmm.
Janice, say hi. Um, uh, how long will a diaper last in the landfill? That is the question. Somebody said, I'll guess 12 to 14 months. Keep guessing.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm thinking that because we're just thinking about the outside, but there is some kind of silicone in the diaper, and I don't think that stuff breaks down. Good morning,
So,
Dennis.
TK, TK said 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Namaste says 3 years. And I have a young man over here. Boo, what do you? Okay, I guess he just left. So, What do you all think? Were you ready for the answer?
Yeah, I'm curious.
500.
How long?
500.
500 years. Oh, I thought I was out of pocket with 100 years, but yeah, wow, 15 years. Our
Who was the
Facebook user
closest?
said, better.
Okay. The 15 years is the closest answer. I'll send a book, but I need to know. You'll need to um, put a message in our direct message, please, and I will send you a book. Um, yeah, 500 years. I cannot believe because I'm playing the little game at the.
Say says that's crazy. Yeah,
We
yeah.
all gone, baby gone, everybody's gone, and it's
So
still
that
there.
our Facebook user is Janice Jordan. Hey,
Hey,
Janice,
Janet,
glad to have you in the house today. Yeah, 500
500
years.
years. I was like,
Wow,
what?
for one diaper.
Because it doesn't break down. Those are the Pampers type diapers.
Yeah, because it has that silicone in it. And I didn't realize that until, we were in some water with the baby. And I kept stepping on these mushy things that almost like goo. And I'm saying, who's got goo going? And I realized that the baby had gotten in the water and the diaper was leaking. And that's when I got to see what it's stuffed with. And that is basically plastic.
Right.
She says it's right up there with the McDonald's hamburger. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Tachi. Yeah, Janice is right up there with the McDonald's hamburger. That thing never breaks down. I don't know if it'll do 500 years, Janice, but hey.
Okay, and I wanted to make sure I was doing this right. It says
Mhm.
studies indicate that diapers in landfills take up to 500 years to degrade, creating methane and other toxic gases in the process. And their manufacturer uses volatile chemicals that also end up in the
Mhm.
ecosystem.
Mhm.
Wow. So, and back in the day, they used cloth diapers.
Mhm.
which is still a thing. You know, you can still get cloth diapers.
Yes, you
It's
can.
probably going to cost you less with the cloth diapers and a diaper service. See, sometimes convenience can kill. The Pampers are convenient, but
Mhm.
you know, Mark has a comment with his silly self. He said, "Twinkie versus Pampers. Who lives longer?" TK, did you want to chime in? And she
Uh,
said on here, her comment, she says, "A cloth diaper is better for the child."
mhm. That's true. That's true. It's natural. It's up against the skin. It's just.
I know this is TK. Sorry to interrupt. My first son, he broke out from the brand Pampers, and so his grandmother paid for the service for cloth diapers. And it was the
Mhm.
best thing ever. We didn't have to. I remember growing up, you know, when a baby poop, you had to dip it in the toilet and do all of that. With the service, you didn't have to worry about anything. Once it was done, put it in the bag. They would come pick it up. They would wash it. They would bring you new cloths, everything you needed. So an actual service, if a parent look into it, is actually better. It's
Mhm.
easier. Don't have to do all that what was done back in the days when cloth diapers were used.
Right. So I think it's a necessary
It's a
item.
win-win.
It's a necessary item to put on your as an expense. It's a
Mhm.
necessary expense. So changing of seasons. So now if we're talking about keeping the planet sustained, we're going to need to think about not putting diapers in the landfill. Yes, it's very convenient, but going back to the service, so things are coming around full circle again, where cloth diapers are making a comeback, right?
Mm. Mhm.
Um, it- Electrical vehicles are making a
Mhm.
comeback. Go
And
ahead.
I was going to say some seasons just come full circle. It's called
Right.
cyclical. And here Janice is saying a diaper service. My mother washed the diapers in a manual wringer washing machine, and we were twins. Woo! And then um, Janice says there's got to be another option, maybe bamboo. I couldn't afford cloth service when I tried doing cloth myself. I'm sensitive to smells. I'll throw up. Okay, Janice.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you're doing it, you got to figure it out. But I'd figure out a way to afford it. I'd
Mm-hmm.
be looking up, do I need to sell a couple of more something, do something? But the convenient factor is not always a good reason to do something. Our bodies are supposed to live at least 120, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's if we are not eating for convenience.
Mm-hmm.
I was on jury duty, and they gave us lunch,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you walk in the cafeteria and there's sandwiches that are packed in, everything's in a vending machine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was in a package. Everything was in a
In
package.
a plastic package.
A
Come on.
plastic
Come
package.
on. You know it wasn't in paper. You know, like sometimes you go to Panera and they have paper wrapping. But
Right. No, it was not paper wrapping. Everything was, and it wasn't a Panera sandwich. It was
mm-hmm.
something that people had. So the bread
Processed.
had, yeah, it was processed. So the bread was um, already made to live long because bread doesn't mold anymore. You notice?
Mhm.
I was like,
Nothing molds
go ahead,
anymore. There's
Dr.
so much.
Tati. Let me see if you're over here. Let me
Mhm.
punch you up. Oh, there you are. Normally you just pop in. I don't understand why you wouldn't just, because you got carte blanche. Go ahead, Dr. Kachi.
Good morning. So this is all very interesting, and I 100% agree that we have to start thinking environmentally, definitely.
Mhm.
But this is also what I noticed. I'm always looking at the social impact of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, once the powers that be have messed up the environment and messed up things, now they start looking at the people that are either downtrodden or have to do these things to fix it. Oh, well, now we can no longer do X, Y, and Z. Well, which you were the one that messed up in the first place. So, for example, when we look at the diaper thing, yeah, it is terrible for the environment. But there needs to be some sort of, I think somebody on Clubhouse said something about maybe bamboo, because it's tasking for parents to sit there and wash diapers, and more often than not, it's probably going to fall on mothers. So
Yes.
that's yet another thing that women have to do and deal with, to sit there and, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to sit there and wash cloth diapers at all. And for some people, even though in the long run it could be cheaper, in the short run, if you can't afford it, having a diaper service may be unattainable. You know, we're looking at it from our perspectives. And for some people, if you work at a convenience store and that's your job and you have a child, you can't afford a diaper service probably. So you rely on, you know, the disposable ones. So it occurs to me that now it falls on the backs of the people who can afford it to the least to fix the problem that
Mm-hmm.
the wealthy powers put it in place in the first place. It's the same thing with when we look at developing countries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that word, emerging markets, and how they're like, okay, well, now the UN is like, now we have to reduce greenhouse emissions and this by the year such and such. Okay, but we were not the ones that created the problem. And now that we're trying to get our economies up, you're trying to put all these roadblocks in place. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love the environment and want better, but it looks like they're looking to us to fix it. So that just came into my head when I was saying that. But I agree, I could probably find a way to do it more environmentally safe, that is more environmentally safe and also better for children.
Right. And there are some alternative,
Mm-hmm.
like Dennis mentioned, the bamboo diapers, and Hello Bello has some hypoallergenic and eco-friendly diapers. So there are some out there, and natural alternatives to disposable. Yeah. So there's
Okay, here we go. So, Dr. Tachi has said initially, and she's the one who's speaking right now. Cloth is absolutely better for the child. However, there needs to be some upgrades so that it's not overly taxing for parents. And then Dana Say said, "Well said, Dr. Tachi." And Jenna says, "Look, this conversation could open up a large can of worms. So I'm going to go back to work before the worms take over. Have a great week, everybody." And
thank
she's right. There is so much that we need to change in this season. And it's not just environmental, but because we're talking to biz chicks, we say, look, there are going to be some seasons when you're going to have to change things in your business, change things in your relationships, change things in your finances, your family, um, fun. These are all things that you want to pay attention to and see, what do I do in this season?
right. So yeah, we need to take a look at it. We need to talk about it. We need to figure out some different
Mhm.
ways of doing things. The seasons are changing.
Mm.
Business is not the way it used to be. We're all businesses are changed. And when 2020 hit,
Mhm.
everything changed. How you do business change. Okay, so now we're doing a lot of live streams, and we're doing a lot of webinars and things, and people are still trying to go back into major spaces and hold conferences and stuff. In my industry, they wanted us to gather for a conference in Long Beach or whatever, and
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not paying for that. And especially if you can make it available online,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to go online. It makes no sense to me if we have the technological capabilities for us to conduct a conversation online. I
Mm-hmm.
can still see the people, I can still hear the people, I can take notes. And okay, in person, I'm still might go to sleep on you. Just saying, if you were thinking about bringing people back in person, and that could be just me because I am not an I, and so I don't need to have the whole vibe of everybody together. But there are people who do better congregating together. I just don't know.
If this is the season.
Right. It's a new season. It's a new day. Okay. So we need to figure out.
What works for us in this season.
Hmm. And if it doesn't work for you, it's okay. We were working with a client, and she's doing some classes, and she put them online. I said, so now you can do these classes again. She's like, they can go watch go back online and do the video and stuff instead of having to do it live again,
Mm-hmm.
put it back out there. I was like, oh, okay.
Now, Jen says, she says, yes, and within the season, we have to check. She says, within the season, we have to do plan checks because sometimes we have to adjust the direction to get to the destination, just like a flight plan. Uh,
Right.
you know,
You're always making course corrections.
course
There
correct.
is no straight line from New York to California.
Mm-hmm.
You got to account for the wind and all kind of things. Yes, it does make
It
sense.
makes sense,
You,
Janice.
you have to account for the wind. You have to account for pockets and all kind of stuff that's happening. Birds might be caught, all kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So you make the adjustments. You are making course corrections all the time.
Mm-hmm. Janice says exactly.
And so, Terry, you said something today about a season. Is it a season to start something, let it go, start all over? Um, Now it escapes me, but you were talking about something to
You know,
do with season.
seasons have different purposes. Is it time to add something or to remove something in your business? Is it a time to expand or to contract? There are different things going on in different people's businesses and in different people's lives, and so we have to do an assessment, which is what basically what Janice was saying. We have to do some planning. We want to look at what's going on and figure out what has worked, what we're going to carry forward, and what we're going to let go.
Right.
It's transition. It's a season of transition, and I think we really need to take a close look because we have been waiting for transition for over 3 years. Maybe we've already had it and we didn't recognize it when it came.
Hmm. Have you noticed things that are out of order? Like you see somebody in a parka and it's 100 degrees outside. What do you think about that individual? Something is wrong somewhere
Mm-hmm.
when you're wearing a parka in 100-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
Or on the opposite, they didn't make the shift in the season. Or either you are wearing nothing
A bikini at the ski lodge. That's a problem.
because we're not knowing the season we are in.
We didn't notice that things changed. And as a result, we didn't prepare because somebody moved the cheese and we kept waiting. Oh no, it's not going to change. It hasn't changed. I can sit
They
right here.
always give us cheese right here. This
Mm-hmm.
is the door we stand for cheese, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
no, we're not doing that anymore. And then, do you get mad because the season changed?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm
And
telling you, this is what Janice says. Yes, Lord, expand our territory. Give us the ideas to reach success Bless our seasons. I think we should end on that note. Oh my gosh, bless our seasons.
Well, see, he's already done that.
Mhm, mhm.
But if we don't walk into the season and be prepared for it, because okay, so I grew up in Stockton down the road here, and that's
Oh, it's
Michelle.
Michelle speaking. Okay.
Yes,
Well, we're
Janice
still
had to
talking to Janice.
go. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
So so eh, so here's the thing. I grew up in Stockton in the San Joaquin Valley. And the San
Mhm,
Joaquin Valley feeds a lot of the people in the world.
mhm,
So when you are in this, okay, so different season in the harvest in Joaquin Valley, it is very busy. There are trucks moving, people are sorting cherries, there's every kind of crop going on. There's a lot of activity in the harvest. And that's like right now they're picking stuff and packing stuff up and moving stuff. And in August you saw the tomatoes going up and down the road. Everything was happening during the harvest season.
mhm,
When it is now going into winter, it's going to get real quiet. There won't be trucks. There will not be people out picking fruits and vegetables and things. Now, come January, February-ish, we'll be out there with in Southern Cal, they'll be picking oranges and lemons and limes and stuff of that nature because those fruits they come to fruition in that season.
mhm.
You got to know what season you're in. If you're going up, okay, I'm going to go out and pick me some stuff. Okay, is the stuff going to be out there?
Mm,
You
mhm.
got to know the seasons in order to be blessed by the seasons. He's not, and we know God's going to do this. Now, he's just not going to just put some cherries and stuff out there. It ain't cherry season.
Mm.
He's not going to just put some kind of stuff on the tree, not going to violate natural law just because we wasn't prepared
Mhm,
for the season.
mm.
So we need to prepare for each season. Get the winter coat, get the boots, get the galoshes, get the tights, and whatever you, because winter is coming.
Mhm, mhm.
Remember that show called Alaska? Oh my gosh, it was on. I think it was the Discovery Channel, and these
Mhm,
people were living up in Alaska, and
mhm.
at a certain time they had to go hunting. They had to go salmon fishing. They had to go get the fish. They had to go get all of the stuff because winter was coming, and they would not be able to go and
They had
um,
to fill up their freezers. They wouldn't be able to go outside. So they
nope,
had to make sure they had everything stored up.
right. And had the fuel for the fire and everything that they needed, because if they didn't have it, and there was some people who weren't prepared, and they was going to their neighbor, hey, can we have some of your cow or some of your Dr. Tachi said, is there another season besides winter in Alaska?
Yes, they
Yeah, there was some sightings of grass and stuff but they had 6 months of winter.
Mhm.
And so they had to be prepared. And some people went up there talking about they're going to live on the land, and then they wasn't prepared, and then they talking to all their neighbors.
Because they didn't have any knowledge, in a lot of cases.
And the ones who did and who was lazy and didn't want to go hunting or whatever they were supposed to do,
Oh, they didn't have any oil in it left in their lamps.
and so they just gonna try and depend on the other people to help them out who had stored up all of their
Hmm.
victuals and stuff and was getting ready, and they had their firewood because you had to cut the firewood, you had to do all of this stuff to get prepared. Go to the ants.
Consider
Consider
the
your
ants.
ways. Go in the summertime.
So, Dr. Tachi says, well, I'm not that hardy, me either, Doc. Godspeed with you, Alaska lifestyle.
I don't blame you. I was like, no,
Mm,
I'm not doing Alaska.
I'm
I
not
don't do
doing that.
camping.
But
No,
it's not just Alaska. If we look back, and that's why I say are coming full circle. When I look back, my grandmother canned everything. We picked it in the summer. We canned it in the summer. We put the jars down in the basement. And whenever we wanted fresh green beans, corn on the cob, whatever it was we want, was downstairs in the basement. We didn't have to run to the grocery store in the snow. Uh, she had coal in the basement and a coal furnace, and we would just shovel the coal into the furnace. Um, uh, she was prepared. She had it delivered.
Wait,
Then when
wait.
she switched to oil, she had the oil delivered. And when
Wait. You said she was prepared.
she was prepared.
So what was that? What's that saying that is going around? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Hmm. And the Boy Scouts.
Whatever that looks like.
Prepared,
Be
right?
prepared. Just the stuff is, the season is changing. You can tell seasons are changing. Well, I don't want to do social media. Okay, the season has changed. We do not have yellow pages. When was the last time you got a yellow page book? Okay, even did you get one last year? Because they were
I
trying to
think
keep.
I did, but it was so small. And then I just tossed it. I'm not trying to keep a lot of paper in the house. And I was just like,
But
I'm
there
not
are
doing
people
this.
who are trying to still live in that season of
Hmm.
the yellow page. And there are some business owners who get caught paying for the ads are going to be astronomical in that season. I The season for publications, and Dr. Tachi can speak to this because she does media. The publications, there was a story that they wanted companies like Google and Facebook to compensate them, or there was, I got to go back and read the story again, but compensate them because they were using news stories and things and not paying the newspaper or the publication for it. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Yeah, I'm sighing because yes, absolutely. But what happens with that is that these newspapers, it's not the fault of Google or any other aggregator that you have not taken a business model into account that puts all these factors, all these things in. So it's not just Google, I'm sorry, not just newspapers, etc. Old, quote, old media, they're very resistant to change. I mean, the same thing happens every time something new pops up where their answer to things is to let's sue instead of let's innovate. So I think, yeah, that thing was a debacle. Now I do get it. Newspapers are, I'm not going to say it's dying, but it is a rapidly declining art form because of the way we consume content and news now. So I do understand that they want to do things, but the problem is at the very beginning of the internet, you did not do things like put your things behind a paywall. So now people have had free access for such a long time, and now you want to say this is the last free article that you have. Well, you just started doing this. Why wasn't this the model before? So they're scrambling and struggling to find monetization models. So rather than actually truly doing the work of how can we monetize, let's sue and prevent everybody from using our things. Okay, there we go. There, I'm done.
Yeah, and I thought that the same way. I was like, well, we didn't tell y'all to keep trying to print a paper. And they still do. We have local papers here, and maybe that's the way to go, where they just do local stories about local people and what have you, and they give that out in our neighborhood for free. They mail it to us. We get it in the mail, and I think they are sustained by different people paying for ads in the local paper. You know what I mean? And their local ads. Like if I was a real estate agent and I'm representing Delta Shores, I would pay for the Delta Shores, and because hey, I'm a Delta Shores agent, blah blah blah, and that's how they're probably sustaining the paper. Hey Danielle, welcome to.
We have another comment over here from Facebook, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure if is this you, Michelle? It says, I like the question, What are we changing with the change of the season? I'm changing my mind and my attitude to change things in my life, family, and business. Well stated.
And we have a visitor in the metaverse over here. Danielle, welcome to Coffee Conversations. And if you'd like to weigh in on the conversation, feel free. You can come up here and take a mic. And we're still playing over here to figure out some things. But thank you for coming over. The conversation is about seasons, changing seasons and shifting seasons. That's what our conversation is about today.
Oh. And Dr. Tachi says, oh, she forgot about Altverse. She's space.
Here I come. Okay.
Here she comes.
All right, cool. So yeah, so
You're locked.
say that again.
The stage is locked.
Okay. Okay, stay right there. You can still talk. Just stand in front of me. I'm gonna so we can hear you. Okay, I'm like, I didn't know that the stage was locked. Didn't know we could do that.
It's like a philosophy type change of seasons, like with every season change.
Hey, Danielle, I don't know. We didn't hear the velocity side of it. We did. There is change. Definitely. And if you didn't hear her, she said every season there's change. She was singing the song.
Oh, to every time. There's a season. Okay.
Dr. Tachi, if you apparently I have to unlock the stage for you guys to come up. So let me see if I can work that out. I'm going to go to.
And this is all part of transitioning into the virtual reality world, transitioning in the current space, and just being open.
All right, I think I took off one of the blocks on the stage.
Okay. I thought I heard Dr. Tachi's voice.
Hold on, I'm coming up there.
Yeah, Danielle's coming up. You can come up too, Dr. Tachi. I took off a blocker somewhere on stage left or something. I'm like, ooh, because see, this is a new season too for me to learn how to do these things because there are a lot of people in the space. And Mark said, I lived in a virtual space before it was a thing.
Oh, I got to hear about that. What's going on with the person that lived in a virtual space before it was a thing?
Oh yeah, that was Mark Ward. I think he was making a joke. So Danielle, where are you from?
Me?
Yes.
Well, everywhere. I was born in Alaska, and then I moved to California, and then Georgia, and then now I'm in Florida.
Oh, Dr. Tachi?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, great. Hey, everyone. Good morning. Oh, you got a little bit of feedback.
Is she still in Clubhouse?
I don't have my headphones on. Hold on a second.
Okay. So, yeah, Dr. Tachi's over there too. And if you could see the space, it has like a table with microphones, and then it got a place for audience to be over here. And maybe next week I'll set it up so we can actually see it, but I didn't feel like fighting the feedback today. So Danielle, we were just talking about Alaska and how people needed to be prepared for the season. So being in Alaska, what was it? Isn't it like 6 months of winter or 6 months of dark or light or something, depending on which city?
Well, you get a couple, depending on where you live, you get a couple of, a little time of pure darkness. And then during the summer, you have days that the sun just circles most of the sky, and then slightly goes down and then comes right back up.
Oh, wow.
Like
just like any other state, like if you have, look at it in Texas or Florida or any other state that has major heat, you just find ways to deal with it. Some people put up tinfoil on their windows, keep the light out so they can have, they can more plan their night so they can get a full and complete sleep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blackout curtains. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
People just use tinfoil.
Yeah, because we were talking about how I was watching the Discovery Channel where these people went to live in Alaska out in the I'm going to call it the bush for lack of a better term, and they had to prepare every winter, and they had to be prepared to change with the season. They couldn't, be water skiing and having fun all year round until the ice came. They had to stop at some point and begin to prepare for the winter that was coming. And this is the conversation we're having. What are you changing with the changing of the seasons? So that was the question that is out there. And Dr. Tachi,
I'm sorry.
Dr. Tachi,
Florida. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So Danielle, you're in Florida.
Yeah, it's in Florida right now. I mean, what do you have to change? It actually, for us, I kind of feel bad for the people that still live in the cold climates, especially with how expensive energy is getting right now. Right now, for me, it's just like, oh my goodness, I can turn off the air conditioner for a while. It's awesome.
Are you a business owner?
I was working on one, a virtual reality platform based on high fidelity. But I don't necessarily know where VR is going. So
this is so this is a new season in VR. Dr. Tachi, who's to your left, I believe, Dr. Tachi introduced me to the VR space, and it's really interesting. It's a thing. It is a thing, and it's happening. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Yes. No, it's fantastic. As soon as I discovered this, I said, oh yeah, this is me. I'm loving it. So Danielle, what part of Florida do you live in?
Central Florida.
Okay, like Orlando?
Yep, near Orlando. I'm a couple hours out of Orlando.
Okay, I'm in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, nice. Love that area. Went crabbing down there.
Oh wow.
And so there's still
So
there's still change that's happening even in the wonderful climates where there's beach all the time. LA is kind of like Florida for us in California, where San Diego, Southern California, there's beach weather all the time, but there's still seasons of change.
Isn't that just that's our lives? Our lives are constantly changing with or without seasons.
Oh, now there's a point. That's a good point. Our lives are changing with or without seasons, because yesterday is definitely not the same as it is today.
Yeah, I mean, getting used to change, getting used to a dynamic world that you have to interact with is just part of life. Seasons for the world is change. It's always been used as just a stand-in for change in our life.
Wow.
So, like even looking in the Bible, right?
Right.
There's a time to mourn. There's a time to plant, and there's a time to fight. It all comes back to that seasonality, those changes in our world that we have to deal with.
Right. There's and she's right, because Everything is changing every day. Michelle, thank you as well for being here today. Michelle is over here on, I'm not sure what that little puff of smoke was over there in the Alverse. But
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing these puffs of smoke. Is somebody invisible doing some nonsense?
I don't know, because I saw it earlier and I'm like, okay, I got to go read up on the room and see what else is happening over there. Because, okay, there's microphones and I'm going to have fun playing with this. Thank you, Michelle, over on Facebook for.
She enjoyed our time this morning. She says, I have to head out now. Have a fabulously blessed day, sisters. Have a great day.
Thank you, Michelle. This is just really interesting as we got a few more minutes here. I'm really interested in the metaverse and in to see exactly where this is going. I can see the benefit of being able to meet and just like hosting this event. And we have two great ladies here with Dr. Tachi and Danielle. Probably wouldn't have met Danielle had we didn't have the space open. You understand what I mean? But she's hanging out in the space, and we can have meaningful things, not it just be a game, a gamer's world. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because when it pops, when I go in, it categorized alt VR as a game. Even though that was not my intent, it's still categorized as a game. So, go ahead.
I don't know how much you know about VR and these kind of platforms. They actually, a lot of people think these platforms just appeared all of a sudden when VR came in. But in the virtual worlds like this, starting back, the Traveler, Second Life. There's another one, something worlds. I can't never remember the full name of that one. Geos. And you go through this line, and there's tons of them today that are popping back up because of VR. Neos VR, VR Chat, Janus VR, High Fidelity was around for a while. Sansar, Altspace, a great game. The technology, they've been doing this for so long, but VR adds so much to it where people can feel like they're more of a part of it. And what's more amazing to me is the fact that we're getting to a point where everybody's computer, everybody's cell phone can now do this. You on a whole virtual world in your cell phone and be able to hang out with people, watch videos, and play a game or do what you want to do with your friends.
Wow, I think that is so enlightening, because I had no clue that this has been going on for a long time. But then the internet has been here for so long, and we're just now discovering the VR space.
Yeah, I think it became popular again. People got drawn back out with these new platforms, and they really didn't look into the long history of this. One of the earliest times of the internet, they were still looking at virtual worlds to inhabit on the internet. It's been looked at for a long time of how can we basically make virtual worlds in the or a metaverse. Books have been written about it, stories around it. Snow Crash, that new one that came out recently, that movie.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, yeah. But I mean, this has been talked about for years and years and years, and I think sometimes there's a perfect I'm sorry, I got my brain's still not awake. Sometimes the time is just perfect for the speed of everybody's computers, their processor speed necessary to run these things. The internet connections are are fast enough in order to pass enough data to everybody in a world like this with the least amount of latency. We're getting to a point where almost everybody has that, even on their cell phones. And this is the time where it really explodes out, and the things that we can do in these kind of virtual worlds is really taking off.
Wow. I'm so glad we got a chance to meet you today, Danielle. Thank you for stopping in our little space. And Dr. Tachi, thank you for, coming over here. We're going to do this again. I'm going to keep working it until I figure stuff out. I got to find out what the little poofs are. And we're going to be back next Monday. We'll probably be here Friday when we do our Tech Life Weekly. And I'm going to use the same space. I like the space where it has the microphones and stuff. I'm going to see if I can get the video working. And I think I figured out why we were having feedback. But that's why we play on Friday, we play with the tech to figure it out. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Live on the Clubhouse, on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you are tuning in today, over here on AltSpace VR. We just want to say thank you for hanging with us for a little bit. And any final words, Dr. Tachi?
This was fantastic. Great conversation. I enjoy as usual.
Yay. All right, Terry, it's your turn.
I just want to say we appreciate you taking time out of your day, and we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business.
One other thing, I'm sorry to cut you off. One other thing, if you want to become a part of BizChicks, go to bizchicks.net. BizChicks.net, BizChicks.net, and you are more than welcome to become a part of our community. There's no cost or fee to become a part of that community, or you can just text BIZ to 33777 and become a part of the BizChicks community. We appreciate your time. And now, Terry, you can.
We just want to say that we want you to know that we care about you. We'd love for you to become a part of our community. When you get over there, you'll see the Heartbeat community. Set up a profile. Let us know what you do. We love supporting each other. And also, we'll be answering questions. We give workshops on Thursdays. Guys, if you want to know what BizChicks does, we do workshops, masterminds, and individual appointments to help you find the money in your business and run a profitable business that's fun to run. So contact us if you need more money in your business and let us help you find it. With that, we want to remind you we're here Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we look forward to talking to you. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking with our digital marketing strategist, TJ Johnson, all the way from New York City. Don't miss it. And we want you to know we care and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.